Till 3:15 p.m. for Bell County. At 3:05 p.m., National Weather Service detected a very dangerous storm near Belton.
Moments after passing through Gerald on Interstate 35, a thin line appeared in the sky. Cars started pulling over to check out the incredible sight.
It's a tornado. It's reaching the ground.
It's our job to chase these tornadoes, but as we drove by an overpass serving as shelter for everyone else, I wondered how safe we were.
This storm has a history of producing tornadoes with numerous reports of substantial damage between Killeen and Temple.
We need to go to the storm. The storm is what's happening.
And when it's happening, a reporter and photographer are supposed to be right in front of it, even if it's a tornado. One. All along I-35, people stopped and watched the storm come right at them. The skinny ribbon zigzagged across fields. I watched in horror as the tornado's force spewed pieces of something into the sky. Suddenly, the radio reports that always seem to be warning someone else spoke directly to us.
If you're outside, move to sturdy shelter now.
He's coming our way. Coming our way. Yeah, please. Go, Chris. Go.
As we climbed inside the car, fist-sized hail pounded the roof.
This is a severe weather statement.
Looking back, the once skinny tornado was now massive, cutting a wide path just east of I-35. Patrol cars rushed toward the storm we had just escaped. Officers shut down the highway, and hundreds of people in cars could only wonder what was happening in Gerald. With your eye on Central Texas skies, I'm Chris Davis-Jones.
South at 15,
Get it from the prairie gun sign.
It was a gun battle.
I need to talk to a police officer.
In the middle of the afternoon.
Right away, fired right away.
At least 18 shots.
One, boom, 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 boom.
Pop, 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 pop.
Police found shell casings everywhere in this Pep Boys parking lot. They found the bodies of 2 men behind a shattered windshield. They found a third man, barely alive.
I was working on my counter and heard the gunshots and came to the window and saw the Astro van leaving, and from there came out, took a look, and there was a guy laying over here. And
Torrance Hawkins saw the suspects.
they were bloody, scared, shaken up.
But not for long.
It's a family restaurant, and we're pretty shocked. We're like, man.
Jairo Rosales was working at Ileano's restaurant just a few steps away, serving food to what turned out to be the suspects. He had no idea.
So then I saw the cops come in, and then the suspects had 3 guns, and they just acted like nothing. They were just eating, 3 guns on them, and they just got caught.
In broad daylight, this busy intersection drew quite a crowd, but they weren't the only ones looking for answers.
The motivation, the reason for this, we do not know. There's really not too much more I can tell you. It's going to be a very long night out here for the detectives.
During the day, he shines shoes outside a subway station in Mexico's bustling capital city. At 7 pesos a pair, the equivalent of 70 cents, Filiberto Vasquez Martinez makes about $5 a day. Vasquez is known as Caritas to his many loyal customers.
Gracias, panzón barrigón.
But no matter how hard he works, it's never enough. So every afternoon he puts on clown makeup and prepares for a second job. As the sun sets, Caritas goes to work again. Small torches, a jug of diesel, and strong lungs are his tools. Caritas is one of Mexico's fire breathers who entertain motorists at busy stoplights. Caritas admits it's dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. It took him years to learn the technique from another fire breather.
I've lost my fear of working with fire. Many people say I'm going to die with cancer, but I don't believe them.
The 40-year-old has been a so-called lanzafuegos for 17 years, most of his adult life. He's even taken his act to Acapulco, Veracruz, and Puerto Vallarta. These days, it's hard to find fire breathers on Mexico's streets. A few years ago, social service organizations launched a campaign urging motorists not to tip people like Caritas. The goal to force the lanzafuegos to find a safer way to make a living.
Gracias, amigo, te vaya bien.
But enough people are willing to pay to keep some of the fire breathers in business. Caritas says he earns between $10 and $30 a night. Street corner entertainers are just one segment of Mexico's thriving informal economy. Because there's not enough full-time employment, the government estimates up to 40% of the population survives doing odd jobs. For the fire breathers, the risks are high. Many end up with serious throat and lung problems, including ulcers and burns from ingesting the fuel. If the wind shifts, the 7-foot flame can flare up and back on the fire breather. Then there are the cars. With more than 3.5 million vehicles, Mexico City has some of the worst traffic in the world.
When I awoke, I was in the hospital with my legs suspended.
A few years ago, Vasquez was hit by a car while doing his act at a busy intersection. He gave the hospital this address. It's the market outside the subway station where he shines shoes. Also the place he calls home, the only home he can afford on the few pesos he collects from 2 jobs.
Chicles, dulces,
Candy vendor Concepcion Gonzalez has known Caritas for 17 years. It's a relationship born from his life on the streets.
Aquí él es a donde él duerme.
She showed us where he sleeps near her candy stand. He keeps an eye on the place at night. She watches over him, always offering advice and guidance.
Es como mi familia.
He's like family, she explains, adding he often wonders how to find his real mother. Caritas grew up on Mexico City's mean streets, spending time in and out of reformatories. He experienced the pitfalls of life as a street child. But years ago, he gave up alcohol and sniffing paint thinner to get high. But he won't give up the spectacular act he's worked so hard to perfect, even at the urging of friends.
Only God knows when we're going to leave this earth. I'm living on borrowed time, but so are we all.
Tonight, Vasquez makes enough to eat. Tomorrow, he'll be back to once more light up the night sky. Angela Gutierrez, 11 Up Close, Mexico City.
Really incredible. How he got up there, I don't know. But thanks to our good fire team, we'll get him down.
I don't want to rush it, but when you want to find him, he's at the ambulance.
Cutting the trees and got stuck.
From what I understand, he was up there trimming the tree and taking it down. The tree come down wrong and it pinned him up against the tree.
He was tied off to the top of the tree. The tree had him pinned when it broke out, and he may have some pelvic injury, we don't know yet.
I was heard all the ambulance fire trucks, so I followed them around here. I thought it was him falling, but it was the limb falling.
That's what we train for, and that's what they provide us the equipment for. And
our 18 to the rescue.
It's just a normal day for us. I'm glad we're trained and prepared to do that.
This is what I'm saying.
Today we're having a special guest honoring a veteran of our United States military. We think it's really important to honor our veterans. We have a lot of parents, family members, close friends of our students that are affected by this war.
You guys have 2 special students that are in your class. They're going to be surprised today by their dad coming back, and we're going to have a presentation, but shh, we don't want you to say anything to them.
Knowing that he was going to be coming home while I was with the student was just going to be so big. I wanted to do it up big.
And I would like to introduce you that special guest at this time. They're right over here. Come on in. Oh. There they are. There we go. This is...
That was awesome. That was really cool. I'll tell my kids how much I love them and how much I miss them. I'll hug them, I'll kiss them goodnight, and be glad I'm actually by them this time.
He needed a decent welcome home, and this is the best way to do it.